Book of Heaven, Volume 35, October 25th, 1937. The Sovereign Queen is the heiress of the divine will, and therefore the heiress of the divine life. How she made of herself a precious pledge in the creative hands of God, the great good contained in one act done in the Divine Fiat. I was doing my round in the acts of the divine will, and as I arrived at the conception of the Most Holy Virgin, I paused in order to offer to the divinity the power and the love which the divine persons had in conceiving this celestial lady, so as to obtain the coming of the kingdom upon earth. And my sweet Jesus, surprising me, told me,
"My daughter, as this holy virgin was conceived, so did our feast start again with mankind. In fact, from the very first instant of her conception, she inherited our divine will, which immediately began its divine crafting within her beautiful soul. And in each of her heartbeats, thoughts, and breaths, our will formed, with its creative power, enchanting prodigies of sanctity, of beauty, and of grace, to the point that we ourselves, actors and spectators, together with our divine will, remained enraptured. And in our emphasis of love we said, 'How beautiful is the creature together with our will! She gives us ease to form our most beautiful works, and she gives life to our own life within herself.' Our love rejoiced and celebrated, because our divine heiress, the heiress of our will and of our very life, had come out to the light of time. And since by virtue of our will operating in her she was fully ours, exclusively our own, in looking at her we felt our breath, our heartbeat, our love, ever burning and ever loving, and our own motions within hers. Our beauty shone through the movements of her pupils, of her little hands, and in the sweet enchantment of her enrapturing voice. She kept us so busy and festive that not even for one instant could we remove our gazes from her. So she belonged to us, fully our own. Our will was already hers by right, and we recognized in this holy creature our divine heiress, for by possessing our will she had already taken possession of it. Now this holy virgin possessed her own humanity, in which she bound the whole human family, almost like limbs to the body. And we, for love of her, seeing in her the whole of mankind, as soon as she was conceived, we gave the first kiss of peace to all humanity, constituting it the heir of our divine heiress, with the exception of some ungrateful ones who would not want to receive it. See then how certain it is that the kingdom of our will must come upon earth. There is already a creature who inherited it, and since she who inherited it is a creature that belongs to the human race, all creatures acquire the right to be able to possess it. This celestial sovereign, taken by love, made of herself a pledge in our creative hands, so that all could receive the kingdom. And since this pledge possessed the life of my will, it contained an infinite value, such that it could be pledged for all. What a sweet and dear pledge was this holy creature in our hands. By making her life and her acts flow into our divine volition, she formed divine coins to be able to pay us for those who were to inherit our divine fiat. Then came my humanity, united to the eternal Word, and with my life, pains, and death, I paid a sufficient price to purchase back this divine will of ours and give it to creatures as their inheritance. One act, one breath, one movement in my will contains such value as to be able to purchase heaven and earth and anything it wants. Therefore, let my will alone be your life and your all."
Afterwards, I continued to immerse myself inside the divine volition. What an enrapturing strength it possesses! Its sweetness, the attractions of its enchantment, are such that one would not want to lose even one breath. And my sweet Jesus added,
"My daughter, the prodigies of my will are unheard of. Its power is so great that as the creature operates in my will, it calls into action all that she has done before, unites it together, and gives back to each act the merit, goodness, and power, as if the creature were doing it anew, enriching it with so much grace and beauty as to form the enchantment of all heaven. Then, as celestial dew, This act invests all the saints and gives them the new glory and happiness which the operating of the creature in my will contains. It then pours this dew upon all pilgrim souls, so that they may feel its power and grace in their acts. How many souls, burned by passions, by sin, by brutal pleasures, feel the freshness of this divine dew and are transformed in good. One act in my will overwhelms heaven and earth, and if it does not find souls who are disposed to receive such a good, it puts itself on the lookout, spying the circumstances, the occasions, and the disillusions of life, ready to invest them, embalm them, and give them the good it possesses. The acts in my will are never idle. They are pregnant with light, with love, with sanctity, with divine sweetness, and they feel the need to give light to those who live in darkness, to give love to those who are cold, to give sanctity to those who live in sin, to give divine sweetness to those who feel embittered. These acts, true children of my divine fiat, never stop. They keep going around, even for centuries if needed, in order to give the good which they possess. And since they are animated and armed by its power, they can say, "We can do anything because an omnipotent divine will gave us life."
Fiat.